Hello everyone, welcome to Little Lovers channel. Let's discuss other four persons, writers of ancient literature, that is Ovid and Pinder, Virgil, Homer. So these are the other four people who are going to discuss now. Ovid, he wrote his in wit and suffocated love poems. His full name was Publius Ovidus Naso, known as Ovid in English speaking word, and he was a romantic poet who lived during the reign of Augustus, and he was a contemporary to Virgil and Horace. His best known works are Metamorphoses, 15-book continuous mythological narrative written in the meter of epic, and for collections of love poetry in elegiac couplet, especially the Amorous and Ars Amortio. The Metamorphoses remains one of the most important sources of classical mythology. He was the first major Roman poet to begin his career during the reign of Augustus. The Fasti, it means books of days, is a 6-book Latin poem, remain incomplete with calendar structure. Tristia and Ephistulae Si Ponte, or 2 collections of elegies. It is an important one, no doubt. Tristia and Ephistulae Si Ponte, 2 important elegies in the form of complaining letters from his exile. So he wrote a lost tragedy, Medea. His shorter works includes Remedia Amoris, it means cure for love, the curse poem, Abyss, and an advice poem is on women's cosmetics. So, curse poem is Abyss, and advice poem is women cosmetics. The Herodes, it means heroine. So, in English, okay. Or Epistulae Herodum is a collection of 21 poems in elegiac couplets. Tristia, it means Sorrow, consists of 5 books written during Ovid's exile in Thomas. Epistulo ex Ponte, it means Letter from the Black Sea, is a collection of 4 books. Augustus Caesar banished Ovid to an isolated island and he died in exile. So Metamorphoses, it's a narrative poem beginning with the creation of the world and ends in Ovid's time. So it consists of adventures of love affairs of deities and heroes. More than 200 tales are taken from Greek and Roman mythology, and these were the greatest source of mythology for Renaissance writers. So next is Pinder. His period between 522 to 443 BC. Pinder was an ancient Greek lyric poet from Thebes, and is the first Greek poet to reflect on the nature of the poet and the poetic role. His poetry illustrates the beliefs and values of archaic Greece at the dawn of classical period. About 10 days before he died, the goddess Persephone appeared to him and complained that she was the only devotee to him. He never composed a rhyme. He died around 440 BC while attending a festival at Argos. Scholars at the Library of Alexandria collected his composition in 17 books organized according to genre. 1 book of Humanae, hymns, 1 book of pains, 2 books of dithyrambics, 2 books of Parsoda, that is processionals, and 3 books of Parthenia, song of light dance, 1 book of Theronae, laments, 4 book of Ephenica, Victory, Odes. Above all, Ephenica, odes written to commemorate athletic victories survive in complete form. His victory odes are grouped in 4 books: Olympina, Python, Isthmian, and Nemean games. Longinus likes to vast fire, and Athens refers to him as a great walked Pinder, Pinderic ode. There are 3 types of stanza in each ode based on choral positions, that is strophe, right to left, antistrophe, left to right, and apody in a circle. A variation of Pindaric ode called irregular ode was developed by Abraham Cowley in 17th century. This is an important one. Note down. Pindaric ode is also called as irregular ode. It's developed by Abraham Cowley in 17th century. Next, move on to Virgil, 70 to 19 BC. Published Virgilius Maro, usually called as Virgil or Virgil in English. Virgil, V-I-R-G-I-L, V-E-R-G-I-L, that is Virgil. Was an ancient Roman poet in Augustan period. He is known for three major works of Latin literature: the Eclogues, the Georges, and the epic Aeneid. A minor number of poems are collected in the Apodex Virgilia, or sometimes attributed to him. Its Aeneid has been considered the national epic of ancient Rome. Aeneid is a national epic of ancient Rome, from the composition to till today. So it is modeled after Homer's Iliad and Odyssey. Virgil's work has had wide and deep influence on Western literature, most notably on Dante's Divine Comedy, in which Virgil appears as Dante's guide through hell and purgatory. After considering briefly a career in rhetoric and law, the young Virgil turned his talent to poetry. He was nicknamed as Paul Henance or Maiden because of his social aloofness. The Augustan poet Ovid parodies the opening lines of Aeneid in Amorous, and his summary of the Aeneid story in book 14 of the Metamorphoses, the so-called mini Aeneid. Laocoon epic, the Bellum Olive, has been considered an anti-Virgilian epic. The Aeneid, an epic poem written between 29 and 19 BC, tells the legendary story of Aeneas, a Trojan who traveled to Italy, where he became the ancestor of Romans. It comprises 9,896 lines in dactylic hexameter. So these are some of the information regarding Ovid. Next is Homer. Homer, it's probably between 12th to 8th century BC. Homer is best known for his author of Iliad and Odyssey, and he believed by the ancient Greek to have been the first and greatest epic poet, and author of the first known literature of Europe, and he is central to the Western canon. The importance of Homer in the ancient Greeks described in Plato's Republic, which portrays him as the first teacher of tragedies and leader of Greek culture. Homer is portrays in Plato's Republic, that is, first teacher of tragedy and leader of Greek culture. The satirist Lucan, in his True History, describes him as Babylonian called Trigonus, who assumed the name Homer when taken hostage. So notable works of Homer is Odyssey, Iliad, Homeric hymn, epic cycle. So in description, that is Odyssey, the poem mainly focuses on the Greek hero Odysseus, known as Ulysses in Roman myths, king of Ithaca, and his journey from home after the fall of Troy. It takes Odysseus 10 years to reach Ithaca after 10-year Trojan War. In his absence, it is assumed Odysseus has died, and his wife Penelope and son Telemachus must deal with a group of unruly suitors, the Menestries, who compete for Penelope's hand in marriage. George Chapman, 1616, translated into English. It is written in dactyl hexameter. It is sequel to the Iliad. So Next is Iliad. Iliad refers as a song of Ilion or song of Ilium. It is an ancient Greek epic poem in dactylic hexameter set during the Trojan War between the king Agamemnon and the warrior Achilles. That is 15,693 lines. Next is Homeric hymn, a collection of 33 anonymous ancient Greek hymns celebrating individual god in dactyl hexameter. Next is Epic Cycle, a collection of ancient Greek epic poems that related the story of Trojan War, which includes the Cypherio and the Aethiopus, the so-called Little Iliad, Illophorus, the Nostoi, and the Telegony in dactyl meter. So these are the very important informations regarding ancient literature. So thank you, and let's come back again with the other information. Please do subscribe and like and share. Thank you. Hello everyone.